Welcome to the Texas County and District Retirement System, and congratulations on your new job. TCDRS partners with your employer to provide you with retirement, disability, and survivor benefits. With the new job comes a flood of information. So here's a brief tour of the important benefits your employer is providing for you and your family through TCDRS. Retirement may seem like a long way off, but now you're saving for your future every day. You deposit a portion of your paycheck set by your employer and earn 7% compound interest each year, regardless of the stock market. The longer you work, the larger your retirement benefit will be. Also at retirement, your employer matches your account dollar for dollar or more, depending on your plan. When you become eligible and choose to retire, you can count on a benefit for life. If you were to pass away before retirement, your loved ones are covered. With 4 years of TCDRS service time, the survivor benefit kicks in, which gives your beneficiary a lifetime monthly payment from your account, providing extra peace of mind for you and your loved ones. Service time counts toward your retirement eligibility. You earn 1 month of service time for each month you deposit into your account. The more service time you have, the sooner you may be eligible to retire. If you ever worked for another public employer in Texas, you may be able to combine this time with your TCDRS service time. You may even be able to count the time you served in the military. Your benefit is there even when you are on the move. If you leave your current job, you can keep your money in your TCDRS account, and it will continue to earn 7% compound interest each year. You also have the option of rolling over your account into another tax-deferred retirement account, or taking it as a one-time payment. The advantages of your membership begin on day one. Register at tcdrs.org to access your account online, designate your beneficiaries, estimate your future retirement benefit, and watch your retirement savings grow. We will also mail you a guide to your TCDRS benefits with information about your membership. If you have any questions, visit tcdrs.org or call Member Services at 800-823-7782. We're here to help. Welcome to the All Aboard Onboard New Hires to TCDRS panel. This morning, we're going to hear from 2 human resource professionals about the best ways to onboard new employees to TCDRS. Let's meet our panelists. First, we have Amber Duckworth, the Benefits Manager of Tarrant County Human Resources. For the past 8 years, Amber has overseen the employee and retiree health benefits programs and retirement data management for Tarrant County. She's a native Texan with more than 14 years experience of HR. We also have Melissa Wellborn, the Human Resources Director for Hood County. Melissa started with Hood County in 2015 as an HR generalist, assisting staff with retirement, benefits, and risk management. In 2019, she was promoted to HR Director. Before Hood County, she worked for a public school system in Texas for 18 years. Thank you, Amber and Melissa. We'll have a chat moderator who will help answer any questions you type into the chat box. Let's get started. So, how does onboarding work at your counties? And how has it changed over time? Let's start with you, Melissa.
All right, thank you. Well, one thing that we do with our onboarding is it's very personal. We're one-on-one. We are small enough that our department is able to meet with each new hire personally.
Wow.
So we're able to, I feel like, give them a little more attention than maybe the larger counties get to if they don't do one-on-one. So I feel like that's what has made us successful and allows us to give our employees a little bit more attention than what some others may be able to.
That one-on-one interpersonal touch.
It is, yes.
And what about you, Amber? What has made it work?
It's worked well. We also offer a very hands-on approach. We offer multiple sessions per week and have our new employees come in when it's convenient for them. We go over all of the benefit information during that process. And it's really a team approach where a lot of our HR professionals help one another to make sure we really get the information in front of the employees.
And the more you do it, the better your teams have gotten at really mastering those approaches.
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
Wow, that's great. And it shows. So what has made your onboarding successful in particular?
I would say communication. It's really important to make sure that we are providing all of the information in a really clear and a succinct way, so we can be consistent in our communication, so they are all hearing the same message.
The consistency.
Yes.
Wow. And you, Melissa?
And I'll emphasize on the communication, definitely getting the info out to our employees more than just one time, more than just when they come in for their onboarding. But also, I think what makes us so successful is our own excitement about the plan.
Wow.
We are so impressed with the TCDRS plan that I think our excitement also bleeds into what we tell our employees and helps them to get excited about the plan too.
That's right. And to continue from that thought, how do you measure the success of your onboarding? How do you know it's working?
Well, I just think a lot of it's based off of the success of our individual plan. I mean, I think our past and current courts have done such a good job of making sure our plan is, well, it's awesome. You know, we just have such an awesome plan. And I think that helps make it successful for the employee. Again, our excitement and telling our employees about what they have and what type of benefit this is for them. And so I think that's part of why it's so successful is we just have a successful plan in general because of the good job that our courts have done with our plan.
Great. And by communicating that and the benefits they're going to receive, you're able to get them signed up and registered and really buy into it early on.
Oh, definitely.
That's
Yes.
great.
Yeah.
And what about you, Amber?
It's definitely the star of the show. It's something we're happy to communicate to our employees because most of them, it draws them to want to work for the county knowing that they have that benefit, and just hearing more about how awesome it truly is really special. And just the partnership with you guys and being able to utilize like your videos that you do has been so helpful, and it really helps us do our job in communicating clearly what a great benefit it is.
Yeah. That's great. And you know, we have heard that just the idea of this benefit has been a retention tool. People
Yes.
want to
Oh,
stay to become
definitely.
vested and
Yes.
eligible later.
Yes.
So what's your favorite thing to tell new hires about their TCDRS benefits?
I would say the match.
Ah.
Of course, Tarrant County has the 200% match, which is just unheard of. And so it's something that I think kind of catches employees off guard. They're like, wow, are you serious? But it's probably the best thing that I like to share.
You really get to tell them that 200% is yours when you reach these milestones.
Exactly.
Wow, that is enticing. And what about you, Melissa?
And same thing. I mean, our county matches 250.
That's right.
Which is unheard of.
Yes.
You know, I did work for Texas public school system
That's
for
right.
18 years, and they do offer a great retirement plan, and I always use that as an example when I'm talking to our new employees, and I say, but listen to this, you know. And my husband retired from oilfield, and another great retirement plan.
That's right.
But again, this is just unheard of, and I think the compounding interest that
There you go, another aspect.
Yes. And so I always pitch that to employees, whether they're coming in or separating.
That's
I say,
right.
listen here, 7%, you're not going to find that anywhere else.
Well, it seems that not only are you strong communicators and your teams emphasize that effort of communication, but you have a lot of great things to share, the message of the match and of the interest. You have a lot of great information to give. And of course, that's always well received when it's in your favor.
Yes.
So when it comes to TCDRS specifically, how do you help your new hires learn about us on day one, the first time they've ever heard of their benefit with TCD?
Well, we do offer quite a few pamphlets in our office.
Okay.
That's sent to us from TCDRS. But we also have a 2-page flyer that we give every new hire
Okay.
that's specific to our plan.
Oh.
And so we will go over that page, both of those pages with the new hire, and just visit with them about what our plan offers. And also, we try to look at the application of the applicant and see if they have anything in their past employment history that will help them become vested quicker also.
That's right, proportionate time and things like that.
And if they have that, or we pick up on that in their application, then we also address that with them at that time.
So you have that, your internal information, you use documents and pamphlets that we provide,
Yes.
and you address their professional history right away so that you can get them settled as quickly as possible from the
Definitely,
beginning.
that's important.
Wow, that's great. And Amber, what about you all?
We actually have turned to videos for our messaging.
Okay.
So we start with the TCDRS video for the introduction to members. So that really starts off with what is TCDRS and how that benefit plan works. So that's the star of the show before we go into the other benefits that we offer at the county. I think that upfront message really helps, again, just emphasize what a great benefit it is. And it is a retention tool for us at the county. So it's really great.
Well, we're so happy to hear that with videos and the brochures that our materials are helpful to you all. And we're happy to provide you with more. Whatever you need, you ask us. That we're happy to provide you those. Right.
Thank you.
What are the most asked questions you get from new hires about TCDRS, and how curious are they about us?
Well, the first question I get is, can I put more than what's required? And also, I have another account. Can I roll it into that account?
That's right. We get those questions often.
Yeah, those are probably the two major questions I get. And then I have to explain, unfortunately, they cannot. And so, you know, they're disappointed. And I'm like, I totally get it. I feel the same way.
Those are the same for us too. They always want to know if they can put more. And we do have the 457 plan, which we offer as a supplement to TCDRS, which is nice. But yeah, we get those same questions as well.
Can we put some more? Because when they realize that interest, and you just explained the match that you mentioned earlier, well, how much more of my money can I put in there? And then certainly rolling over is a very popular question. They just came from another employer. They might have an account. So
Sure. Yes.
That's true. We understand. What TCDRS resources do your teams find the most helpful?
I think probably your website.
Okay.
We utilize the search engine for just about everything we look for.
Do you?
And yes, we do. And I'm not the most IT savvy, so the fact that I can go in and search immediately and pull up whatever I'm looking for is so helpful to me as the coordinator, that when an employee walks into my office, they want it right then.
That's true.
They don't have time to wait.
That's true.
And so to keep from printing out a bunch of different forms, we just utilize the website, and immediately we're able to pull a form, print it, and provide it to our employee within probably 5 minutes max. And so that is so helpful to us in our office, is being able to do that. Yes.
Oh,
and,
that's great to hear.
You know, TCDRS until 2020 was so great about coming out to our county at least twice a year and visiting with our employees. Our employees are very visual. They like that one-on-one correspondence. So that has been very helpful to me in the past, and I look forward to starting back doing that over the next year.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're already back on the road. So
we're excited.
You'll see us very soon.
Right.
So for example, when you talk about the search engine and our website, an application to retire, say they come in and they're ready to look at it, you can pull that up easily.
Immediately, yes. Print all the pages. As a matter of fact, we have numerous employees who have military service.
That's right.
And so I'm able to search that and pull up any form that I think might benefit them in requesting their service time so that they can have that credited to their account.
That's right.
So
and another very popular one, updating their beneficiaries. I'm sure you're printing that often.
Yes, we do. And a change of address, you know, we use that a lot. And I do like the fact that we still can fax to TCDRS. You know, few use the fax machine, and I still kind of like that because I like that hard copy of confirmation. So we do still fax over a lot of our forms too.
That's right. And you said we still can fax because the truth is we offer both options. You can
Yes.
go online and apply online to retire, update a beneficiary, change your address. That access is also granted to those who prefer to do it online. But to your point, if you still would like to print the form and fax it in, you have both options.
We do. And then we have that hard copy of a confirmation that I can also give to our employees so
That's
that
right.
they have confirmation. Yeah.
That's right. And what about you, Amber? As far as most helpful resources, what would you say Tarrant County would lean on?
I think the partnership with you guys and the employer services reps is really just a great partnership. You guys are so genuine and really wanting to help us, help us communicate to our employees, get the message out, and how can we do that together. So I too agree that the in-person sessions that we offer annually are great. Even continuing that with the pandemic, being able to do that virtually was very well received. In fact, for us, I think it was even more beneficial because we had so many people in the past that couldn't step away and actually go to a physical location for the seminar. But it's such important information that they want to hear, and being able to do that at their desk or even recording that session for them to watch later.
That's right.
Was really, really beneficial to our employees, and they were so thankful that we had that option. And so I feel like that it's something we will definitely continue in the future, so that we can touch as many people as possible.
That's right, because that's the point, educating our members about their plan.
Right.
You have wonderful benefits, but our responsibility is to make sure they know about them.
Right.
And so when we saw the situation at hand, our main goal was help our employers and educate our members. And so we adjusted the way we needed to, and it was really well received. The virtual webinars and virtual education was very well received around the state. Because to your point, Amber, their questions didn't stop.
Right.
And the need to really provide them resources and information actually increased with new questions. So I'm so happy to hear that that was a benefit that you all were able to use and lean on. And speaking about resources, any feedback you ever have about new resources we can offer, please do share. We're always willing to make new videos and design new brochures, and to our point a moment ago, create new avenues, be it virtual, because our goal is to work alongside you. You're our biggest investment as employers, and educate our members. They're most important. So we really appreciate your feedback about it working and about the relationship being so healthy and strong, because we value it too.
Well, and I would also like to state how awesome customer service is. You know, I do get some employees or even family members of employees in my office, very sensitive situations. And so usually, very seldom do I not call TCDRS and they pick up. And then we'll put them on speakerphone, shut the door, and we're able to have that conversation. So I'm so grateful that customer service is so easy to talk to, and they're always there and picking up the phone when we call. So I'm very grateful for that too, for our employees.
Thank you for saying that. As a resource, they're one of the most powerful ones. Our call center takes calls Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. They're available, and they're wonderful. They are the experts. And as you said earlier, talking to a person, that interpersonal connection will never, ever, ever be replaced by anything.
Right.
So
I agree.
we're very happy to have them available, and that you call them. And I'm sure you know them, most of them by name at this point.
And I think they may know me by name.
And they're happy too. They're the nicest people.
They are great.
They are. They really are. So how do you encourage your employees, this is the big question, to sign up for their TCDRS online accounts?
Well, we don't pay them, Erica, even though you may think that. I think it's the benefit of being upfront with what TCDRS is and partnering with you guys. So us showing the video first in our what we call new hire processing.
Okay.
And then not long after that, I know you guys follow up with a welcome kit to their home. And I think just having it there up front for them is a great reminder that I really need to take care of this. We reintroduced TCDRS again during our new hire orientation session. That's a monthly session for us, so it's a larger group. But we're telling them about TCDRS again. We're reminding them about the importance of the beneficiary and designating that not only for TCDRS, but some of our other benefits like life insurance. So I think just kind of can't think of the word.
Oh, that's okay.
Just regularly introducing that benefit.
That's right.
And putting that in front of them is helpful. And I know with our seminars as well, with you guys always give great examples of kind of the horror stories of not updating your beneficiary and not having that set and your wishes not being, honored if you do pass away. So very important. And we're thankful that we can partner with you guys for that important message.
That's true. And so am I hearing that when a person is hired, you're going to meet with them individually and you initiate them with our videos and you give them information, but then each month, Tarrant County has a new hire seminar that new hires are all asked to go to, so it's a larger group, but you're then again repeating some information and reminding them yet again if they haven't created their online account that would be a good time?
That's correct. It's a lot of information, and on day one, when you're brand new to the county, there's just so much to cover, not just with benefits, just with everything. And so they have a few days, weeks maybe, to kind of process and think through some questions. So then we're putting it in front of them again during that orientation and giving them an opportunity to ask questions, get those questions answered. And it makes sense, right? I mean, just to make sure that they know the information and where to go if they do have questions.
Wow. And so this is a great example. You're speaking of that consistency.
Right.
Of when they're first introduced, there will be another time to revisit this information. And again, what's so important is that this benefit and their understanding of it does affect them from the beginning.
Yes.
They're a member from day one.
Yes.
So you really want them to understand just from the get-go. Is there something similar with you, Melissa?
That is how we handle ours. Our employees go to a benefit orientation approximately 60 to 65 days after they've been hired on. So that gives them time to first have a deposit with TCDRS, and then they should be getting close to receiving the welcome packet from TCDRS. So that is one of the things I do address during our benefit orientation. And we also stress beneficiaries, again, like Amber, not just TCDRS, but all benefits. I believe the word I use is nag. I'm about to nag you if you don't get your benefits filled out, and get those beneficiaries listed. So I do stress that during our benefit orientation about TCDRS and how important it is to create that online account and fill out their beneficiaries. And I believe TCDRS also follows up with a paper letter if they have not received beneficiaries online, and ask the employee to complete their beneficiaries and just mail it back. So
we do. There are campaigns throughout the year where we'll send a postcard or a form of a reminder that says your account doesn't have a beneficiary. So we do our part to tap in, but we also really depend on your guidance and leadership and educating them as to why that beneficiary should be listed and kept up to date, which is more important. We really want to stress that the beneficiary should be kept up to date because life changes happen.
Yes.
And we want to make sure that who they intend to leave that money to is listed on their account.
Correct. Yeah.
It's very important.
Stress keeping everything up to date with TCDRS. And one of the things I always tell our employees is they don't let you forget that they have your money, but it is your responsibility to make sure that your address and beneficiaries stay updated so that they can stay in touch with you. So,
that's right. Yeah. And this is very much a team effort. Our office and your office depend on one another. And the more we work together from the start, the better the experience for the member.
I agree. Yes.
So how do you encourage your members to designate a beneficiary for their accounts in the beginning? Are you encouraging them to go online? Are you providing them a form from the start? What is your internal strategy to make sure or to encourage them to get it done as sooner than later?
Yeah. That is one of the things that we do go over during their new hire orientation. Is that it's also listed on that 2-page flyer that we give
That
them.
you mentioned, okay.
Yes, that we stress that they go in and set up their account and fill out their beneficiary information. And then again, about 60 to 65 days, I meet with them again and stress it again at that time.
So it is more of an online encouragement to create their online
It is
account
in
and
the
do it
beginning,
online.
yes.
Okay.
Yes,
That's
in the
great.
beginning. And then during our annual open enrollment, I also address that during
Great.
that time frame because we see all employees during that process.
That's right. It's
And
everybody,
it
so they can
is.
update
and
them.
So yes, we have that available for them at that time, along with any other address change or anything like that they may have. So we look at that as a time to address all forms and completing those if there's changes.
And therefore, therein lies the consistency again once a year.
Right.
Is that you're addressing it to everyone.
Yes, yes, we
That's
do.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And what about you, Amber? Are you more of an online registration beneficiary strategist?
We're still doing the paper beneficiary form up front, but our focus is to direct employees to the website
Okay.
so that they know they have the control. Recently, we started a countywide email campaign that we'll send out regularly to encourage employees to claim their accounts.
Okay.
And give them the information about everything that the website can help them with. The updating of beneficiaries, actually seeing their accounts grow, and running those estimates. I know even for me, when I first started, I thought that was the coolest thing. It's a pretty far off year in which I'm going to retire, hopefully. But it was neat to see that potential.
That's right, because it really shows you that by working and staying the course, that money will be waiting for you one day.
Yes.
Yeah.
We often encourage members to run estimates as often as they can because it reminds them that that's their money.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the estimate, including the matching portion, really gets exciting.
It does, and that's what I always tell employees. It's fun to watch your money grow.
Yes.
Create an account and watch it.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing that you really do encourage them to access their accounts online, to visit our website, and that virtual experience, it being very popular and helpful is encouraged by both of your offices.
Yes.
Still using the forms when you need it
Yes.
and when they're asked for, when you need to have them available.
You bet.
So with all the experience that your teams have thus far, because you both have been with your offices for some time, as I mentioned, how do you plan to improve your onboarding practices?
We're going to implement an automated platform that actually works with our application platform that will just give the new hire a better experience where it's a little less painful, if you will. So anytime we can automate, that's what we're going to try to do, just so it's a better experience for all. We have more accuracy with our database and our HRIS system. So that's what we're working towards. I don't think we'll ever be 100% paperless, but at least it's a goal for us to work towards.
Sure.
That's true. And goals are important because you're reading the behavior of your constituents. You know what your members do and what they need more of. And so if that's a goal and it works for you, clearly what you all do is working. And that's why we're so happy to invite you and to ask about your onboarding program, because they are very successful. They very much are.
Oh, good.
And we're very grateful. So, ladies, what advice do you have for our audience if they want to begin enhancing their new hire experience? What would you encourage them to do first?
Well, again, I still think the one-on-one correspondence with new employees is very important. Now, I realize not all counties may be able to do that, but I think that's very beneficial in the beginning to help that employee understand, again, just how awesome this plan is and how lucky they are to be a part of it, and help them to understand that the process is really very simple. I mean, we do all of the enrolling as far as that goes, you know, for the employee. So we're there to offer any assistance. And so I think that one-on-one, if possible, is crucial there in the beginning.
A great start. If they don't have that practice now, perhaps they can figure out how to go about that.
Sure. Or like Amber said, you know, maybe a once a month meeting for new employees and just offer that type of assistance.
That's right. And any level of engagement, if it's just one person or if it's a small seminar each month, there's still an in-person resource.
Right.
And to your point, Melissa, we're here to answer their questions now in real time. And they might want to know more about but who can they list as beneficiaries? How many? And those questions, just to be answered in real time, are so helpful.
I agree. We do get quite a few questions about beneficiaries and can I list them like this or, you know, things like that. So, yeah, I think that in-person contact with that new hire is very important.
Well, that advice is a great start. And if they don't know what that looks like, just to try new ways of that engagement in person until it fits their needs.
Yes.
Thank you, Melissa. What about you, Amber?
I'd agree with Melissa. I think the in-person touch is always going to be the best way to communicate and really get to know what their needs are and answer those specific questions, because I think at all times communication is the most important thing. I would recommend too just leveraging what you guys have created. Your professional videos cover a broad range of topics, and they're done so well, and they are specific to different things, and people can actually search for, specifically what they're looking for or asking about, and that is key. We also have created an employee intranet site, and that site is just for employees. So they can find information about the retirement system. They can link to your YouTube channel.
Really?
They can link to the recorded seminars that we do with TCDRS. So it's a great resource for them and for those that are comfortable in going onto the website to find all that information in one place. But of course, we're very paternal also, and we do a lot of hand-holding with our employees. And so those that aren't comfortable going to the website, they know who to call.
That's right.
Or to come in and sit down with us.
Again, you have both services available. You're encouraging them to go watch our videos, research what they can on the website, but then you're available, as we talked about, just being available in person. Well, you know, our videos have really developed into different key topics. I appreciate you mentioning that, Amber. We have them from naming a beneficiary to approaching your vesting milestone. And we have many investment videos that are very informative if you visit our website that really talk about our different asset classes, because members often want to know and they are curious about our portfolio, and the information is there for them anytime they want to search for it. So I do appreciate you mentioning those videos. They're recorded specifically for member education and your use. And to know that you get a lot out of them makes us very happy. And we want each topic to be brief enough that somebody's going to want to watch it quickly, but get the main information that's important. And so they've broken them up by topic, and we try to make them readily available, and we'll make more if you need them. So
great.
So we've talked a lot about our videos. What are your favorites to use? Melissa, let's start with you.
Well, I can't really say that I necessarily have a favorite, but we utilize the retirement video a lot in our county, because I think that is beneficial when an employee calls me, they're considering retirement.
That's right.
Then I recommend that they watch that video, because they're they have a lot of questions that are
Sure.
unanswered. And sometimes they may not even know what those questions are
Great
until they
point.
watch that video, and then they're like, oh, I hadn't even thought about that. So I always encourage our employees who are even considering retirement to watch that video, because I feel like it helps them with their process. Whether I help them with the paperwork and submitting it for them, or they do it online, I still feel like the video is very beneficial to them.
That's wonderful, because retirement is what we do. And so when that day comes, it gets them started
That's
on
what
the
we're
right
all
foot.
working for.
That's right. And what about you, Amber? What would your favorite video be?
I like all of the videos. They're done so well, but I like to communicate the one about the survivor benefit.
Yes.
So being able to have that benefit even after 4 years of service,
Yes.
it is just a nice comfort to the employee to know that that's there and available for their families.
Knowing that your loved ones are taken care of is important. I can see why that video is very helpful.
Yes.
Well, as members of our system, you one day will get this amazing benefit. So I'm curious, what are your favorite aspects, or maybe one favorite aspect about our plan?
By far, the county's match.
That's your favorite part of the benefit.
Yes, it excites me because every dollar that I'm contributing, I know it's being matched at 2.50, and so that is just such an encouraging thought for me for when I do reach retirement.
I agree with you, and I'm sure many people share that interest.
Yeah, I think
What
so.
about you, Amber?
I would say the lifetime benefit, knowing that I've worked so hard for this benefit, and knowing that once I decide to retire, that I'm going to have that monthly benefit for the rest of my life. And that gives me a lot of peace and helps me, on those hard days.
That you know that check will be for the rest of your
That's
life.
right.
Yes.
And it is very rare. And so when we let members know about that, sometimes we get asked, are you sure it's for the rest of
Right.
my life? I'm sure you get that question too.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, the match and a lifetime payment are probably two of our most fun areas to talk about, and ensuring the member that that's how this benefit works.
Yes.
Just more reasons why TCDRS is so different and the benefit is so valuable.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I've heard a lot about what it is you offer from a general standpoint, and it's been very helpful for us to hear what works and what you plan on improving even more, because both of your teams are doing an excellent job with onboarding your new hires. But if you were to take me through an actual day of someone who has just joined Tarrant County, or someone who really has just been excited and now they're part of the Hood County family, what would that look like if you can take me through that process of they're welcomed and they're now being encouraged to understand more about their benefit?
Sure. When we meet with the new hire, which, like I've said, it's one-on-one usually, we start their packet. We have a packet created for all new hires, and we start going through that packet. And we just have each employee fill out each form that's required. And then, of course, when we get to our 2-page flyer that we offer in our new hire packet, we go over each step with them.
Do you?
Yes, about what's offered, what their contribution will be, and it is a required contribution, and how the county will match it upon their retirement, and how the benefits work after their retirement, and then also any service that they may have. We ask them about that, and or if I've been able to figure out that they have past service
That's right.
that will credit them, we discuss that. And so we go through that page with them, and then we complete that new hire packet. And one of the things that I always stress to the new hire is that if they don't receive that welcome packet from TCDRS in about 6 weeks, then I encourage them to get in touch with me if we haven't already reached out to them, because we do try to reach out with them about various things that they should be receiving in about 6 to 8 weeks. So I always let them know that they can contact us at the end of our one-on-one meeting and ask us any questions they may have about the retirement plan or any other documents that we have just completed. I always joke whenever they've completed their packet that I wish I could give them keys to their new house, because they've just signed their life away. But that's the process we go through, and retirement is just one of those things that we discuss in this packet.
And so when they're introduced to us, it's part of the new hire experience. that one-on-one moment is followed up, you said about 6 to 8 weeks later, of just ensuring that they've checked off certain boxes, completed certain forms. And so you keep an eye on your new hires for that first month and a half, if you will.
We do, yes, we do. We try to keep in touch with them if possible and follow up on, again, not just retirement, but there's been other benefits that we have to follow up with them on, and hopefully get them signed up and moving forward, because a lot of times we may not see them again until our open enrollment.
That's right.
So,
and
yeah.
then again, the follow-up, as we talked about earlier, would be once a year. You'll revisit with them and the rest of the county at open enrollment.
That's exactly right, yes. And retirement is one of the topics that we address. And we also let the employee know that they can access the account or create the account from their phone. You know, we have a lot of employees that don't actually have computers at work.
That's right.
And so really the phone is the only technology that they have, and most are pretty savvy with that. And so they will create their TCDRS account online through their smartphone.
Melissa, that's great to hear, because we've completely revamped the online experience, both not only virtually on your computer, but on your mobile devices. So from anywhere, any mobile device, you can register for your online account very easily and conveniently. And so we're very glad to hear that you promote that.
Yes,
Many
we do.
of our members are now logging on from their phones, and you actually see that happening.
Yes, yes, we do. Quite a bit, especially in the road and bridge department.
Yes.
Or those other departments that, again, don't have access to a computer on a daily basis.
That's great, but they've got their phones. Many people have them now.
Just about everybody has that phone.
That's right. I'm so happy that's working for you.
Yes.
Great
yeah,
to hear.
working great.
Great to hear. And what about you, Amber? Take us through someone's first day. What would that look like? And then they're on, similar to Hood County, about a month and a half experience. What would that look like for you?
Similar, we also have folks come into their session for the processing. We provide them a packet of information as well. So there's some required paperwork that they have to complete. Again, we are really focused on our videos to communicate the bulk of our benefits and just what it's like to be a Tarrant County employee. So that we are consistent in our communications. And we have small groups. We don't do the one-on-one usually, but we do have small groups during those sessions. So they're completing the required paperwork. They're able to ask those questions about anything they've seen in the videos. We have a 14-day enrollment period, so we really focus more on that first 14 days where we're making sure we're high touch and staying connected with them so they get everything to us during that 14-day period. We're doing the beneficiary form for TCDRS and making sure that that is done before they're actually leaving that session. So it's really more of a requirement as far as that goes. I think that helps just secure that information up front. And then in about a month and a half, we'll have that seminar where it's the orientation. So that's a larger group. That's even more information. But from the benefits perspective, we really refocus on the introduction of TCDRS because you really can't hear it too many times.
I agree.
I know that it's a lot of information, and even with the questions that people ask, it benefits the group because, you know, maybe they didn't think of that question, but that was a good question.
That's right.
So it's very helpful. And then we always try to encourage folks to call our office for anything related to employment with the county. If we don't have an answer, we're going to get it. And if you have questions about your TCDRS account, of course, call us, come by and see us, email us, just so they're confident in how can they get the information if they walk away and have a question.
So you have, your focus is the 14 days.
Right.
And then once a month you have a new hire orientation that they can
Right.
also attend. And while you don't have the one-on-one opportunity, you have small group and then larger group seminars monthly.
Right.
And you also have your annual enrollment once a year.
That's right.
So again, that consistency. And what's important that I hear from you ladies is you're tailoring it to what's available and what you're able to do.
Yes.
Size of county matters, size of HR teams or whomever handles retirement and benefits matters, because then you have to look at what you're able to do. And I hear that even though in smaller groups, it's still that in-person connection, and you really focus on 14 days to complete what they can. And you have the availability to meet one-on-one, but you also have a little bit longer time period, maybe 6 to 8 weeks where you revisit and touch base with them.
That's right. And I think knowing your employees, you know, it helps
right.
to know your employees
That's
and
right.
what you think works best for them. And that's the avenue you need to take to try to inform them, communicate, and also educate them on what great benefits they do have, including their retirement. So whatever you feel like works best for your employees is definitely the best way to reach out to them.
Agree. Tailoring what they need and what works best for your counties and your districts is always going to lead to a more successful outcome.
Right.
Yes.
I agree. You know, Amber, you also mentioned that you keep in touch with them. You said for that 14-day period, we keep notice and we reach out. Are you doing that by email?
We do. We utilize email a lot. We get the most response via email.
Okay.
But some folks, you know, they want to come to our office, and we are always welcoming to have people come by. Some things are sensitive, and they don't want to talk about things over the phone, or they don't want to put it in an email. And, you know, they may have more complex questions, so they want to come by. So we encourage that as well. And like Melissa said, the cell phone, everyone has, and the mobile app just makes it so much easier because all of our benefits actually utilize a mobile app. You know, even our healthcare system
Does it?
utilizes a mobile app. So it's just what you have to go with and to keep up with the technology.
That's right.
And what is going to help the employee access their benefits.
To your point, people are banking online.
Yes.
And they're doing so much with email, even from their own phones, and they're accessing applications. So we wanted to make sure we are offering the top-notch availability for them to register and update their accounts at their convenience. And I'm glad that we've been able to do so and that your members are appreciating it and using it. It is something that's very accessible. And you said earlier, most people have a smartphone or they have a mobile device.
Yes.
Right.
And they can use that accordingly. That's great to hear. I'm very happy to hear that. Thank you so much. If I were a new hire and hearing all about these benefits, I too would be excited. And I was when I was hired with TCDRS. But to be a Hood County employee and a Tarrant County employee, even just so much more valuable listening to all the time and attention you give your new hires and your existing members. And if there's anything that I've learned today, it's the power of intentionally caring about that new hire and wanting them to understand what they're about to receive by working with Tarrant County and Hood County. And then just being present. Both of you repeatedly would say, we are available. We let them know to come see us, and they do come in person. And for those that prefer a phone call or an email, that's available too. And finally, the partnership we have, that we can work together, be it the call center, the employer services representatives, the field reps, and you and your teams. We all do this together. It's definitely a team effort, and we all have the same goal in mind, educating members and employers about TCDRS and being available when they need us. And so this is just something that we can talk about all day because it's important and it matters.
Sure.
So speaking of our conference, what are some of the things you enjoy most? In fact, what do you like and look forward to about our conference each year?
Well, I love the fact that y'all take such good care of us. I mean, we're just catered to the whole time we're here, which is just great. There's some breakout sessions and also even some speakers that always have valuable information that I need as the coordinator, you know, that I may need to take back to my court. Not necessarily that our employees need to know it, but y'all always make sure that we're given lots of information about what makes this plan so great, interest, how y'all calculate, how all of that is looked at going forward.
That's right.
And so that's important information for me to know and be able to take that back to my court in case I'm questioned about it.
That's right. So you feel like your education's being met, and we give you what you need to know when you go back to your decision
Definitely,
makers.
because
Oh,
it's
that's good.
important for me to have that information.
Oh, that's great to hear, Melissa. Thank
Yeah.
you. What about you, Amber?
I agree. You guys do an excellent job. I personally like the investment discussion.
Do you?
It's typically over my head, but I really gravitate to it, and I always want to learn and try to understand how that actually works
Yes.
to help grow and ensure our benefit. So it's very interesting to me, but again, a lot of it is over my head, but I try. I think you guys are so professional and intentional in wanting to help everyone get something out of each session. And I think that it's seen throughout the sessions. You guys want to bring value, and you do. And so it's very much appreciated. I typically learn something I never knew before. And so I do feel like it's just done well, and it is catered to us.
Yes, it is.
Well, good. Then we're accomplishing our goal,
Yes.
because you
Yeah.
are so important to us. And we know that as a team effort, we have to foster that education, and we learn from you just as much. Every conference, we take back questions that you have or new needs, and we have these ideas of what to do better and how we can be more available and more resourceful. So we're taking just as many notes behind the scenes that you may not realize, and we really appreciate all your feedback. And we take your feedback very importantly. It's very, very much evaluated and listened to, because that's how we grow. That's how we make ourselves better. So thank you. And please keep coming to the conferences. We cannot wait for the one next year.
Yes, we're looking forward to it.
Well, that's all the questions we have time with for Amber and Melissa. I can't thank you both enough for being with us today. It has been a pleasure to listen about what goes on in Hood County and Tarrant County. The success clearly shows with how well you onboard your new hires and the efficacy of your teams, but most importantly, the love you have for your members. And I am so proud to highlight that with both of you today, because it's what matters most, and we're honored to thank you and learn from you and just improve onboarding practices all throughout Texas. So we can't thank you enough.
Thank you, Erica.